All right, ladies and gentlemen. So today we are going to be talking about Ghost of Antifa. And I know you're probably thinking to yourself, what could you possibly have to talk about again when it comes to Ghost of Antifa? But I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. The PlayStation fanboys that are out there are giving me content left and right. I have to take advantage of it. It is what it is. Like, that's not my fault. All right. So I'm looking at a post right now on my X. Okay. And it says things are getting really bad for Ghost of Yotei. This is a video that you guys saw the other day. And all this is an advertisement on my X for my video. That's all this is. This is nothing. There's nothing in this post that says anything other than it's the title of the video and a thumbnail. However, I ended up getting a post from somebody called Dodgy Kebab. Now, I don't mean this offensively. I have no idea who the fuck this is, okay? This is somebody who posted on my post. They don't follow me, and they said the following. They said, this is absolute cope. You can measure a PSN game's digital sales by how many have given it a rating. Around 2 to 0.5% of players rate a game. FC26 sold around 5 million digital copies and has 14,000 ratings. Ghost of Yotei has 21,000 ratings. Try this formula with any game released. Okay, fine. That's what I did. So we're going to go into my post using his own math to counter his own argument, which, by the way, I don't believe he has responded to this whatsoever. He kind of just let it go when I used his own math against him. So what he's trying to imply here, and this is by far one of the most insane things I've ever seen. He's trying to imply that because FC26 has been confirmed to sell 5 million digital copies and has only 14,000 reviews, then that means that Ghost of Antifa having 21,000 reviews means that it sold more than 5 million copies. Are we understanding here? Is everybody understanding this video watching right now where his logic is at right now? That because Ghost of Antifa has 21,000 reviews over a game that has 5 million copies sold and has 14,000 reviews, then that means that it sold more than 5 million copies. Do we all understand that? Great. So he tries to use the number of 2 to 0.5% of players rating a game. Okay, not a problem. So he shows screenshots of Ghost of Antifa having confirmed 21,000 reviews or ratings over on PlayStation. Not a problem. We're going to do this math then. Okay. So what I did, which he didn't like, I guess, because he didn't really respond. I quote tweeted him because I found it interesting. Mind you, I did this like super late at night. I was half asleep, literally about to go to bed, and I'm like, I have to respond to this. Like, there's no way that we're coping this hard, but we are. So I said, thank you for the math you provided. Let's use it. Ghost of Tsushima on PlayStation has around 271,000 ratings at the time of this post. The last known sales number that's been confirmed pretty recently is 13 million copies on PlayStation, both PS4 and PS5. Now, ironically, I had to correct myself. When I initially Googled it half asleep and I looked at a couple of reports, they all said PlayStation, but apparently it's 13 million copies with the PC in there as well. So 13 million copies with PC, PS4, and PS5. So the numbers I'm about to tell you are wrong. They're actually worse utilizing his math, but we're going to go anyway. So I said 271,000 ratings of 13 million copies equals around 2.08%, which is slightly higher than the 2% that he utilized. So I said if you take the reviews of 21,000 on PSN using basic math, that brings us at your 2% scenario, which results in 1,050,000 copies sold. Considering Ghost of Yotei did not start with 21,000 ratings at release, that means that after 6 days of release, it barely sold over 1 million copies. This is not the 24 hours, 1 million copy story that you are all pushing just using your own math and comparisons. You can clearly see that people rate the Ghost games more than they rate the sports games. So using Tsushima as a baseline for Ghost of Antifa would make more sense than trying to use the FC game that has nothing to do with these kind of games. So for comparison, Ghost of Tsushima, just so you guys are aware, this is confirmed, Tsushima sold over 2.4 million copies in half the amount of time on PS4. It took 3 days for Tsushima to sell 2.4 million copies. This is also a video game that had no previous game before it. Ghost of Antifa has the hype from Tsushima to back it up, right? So clearly, Ghost of Antifa should be selling way more if people were actually hyped to play it, because Ghost of Tsushima did not have a previous game behind it and had to sell based off just, well, people being curious about it and word of mouth. So then I said, I'm not even sure why you tagged Grums. By the way, let me show you the quote tweet. So if you look at the quote tweet, if you scroll down, I don't know if here we go. He tagged somebody called KJN Gamer, PlayStation Gamer. Okay, I have no idea who these fucking people are. I don't know why you're tagging this person. Literally no idea. And then he says, I've got the Grums gotcha you've been looking for right here. Why are we mentioning Grums in this? I never once mentioned Grums in anything that I ever posted. Like, I barely even talk to Grums or talk about Grums. Like, what the fuck is with the Grums derangement syndrome that you guys are tagging Grums in this? And then your gotcha's fucking pathetic, because let me continue anyway. So then I said, you can clearly see, again, people rate these more than the sports games. For comparison, Tsushima sold 2.4 million copies in half the amount of time. I'm not sure why you tagged Grums to gotcha him in a thread that he wasn't even in. I feel like that's really odd behavior. I can't wait for the goalpost to move. Your math was good for the gotcha, but now that it's been used against you to prove Yotei is actually a flop compared to Tsushima, I wonder where you will go next. Are you going to say that the PS4 had a bigger install base? It's totally not 2% like Tsushima, and it's somehow less because it's Yotei, right? Like, these guys want to utilize other games that have this weird ratio of reviews to purchases and say, well, look, this sports game has a 0.5% ratio. That means that Yotei has a 0.5% ratio. Like, no, let's go based off Tsushima, because the people who buy Tsushima and buy Yotei will act similar, right? They will review games similarly. Let's go with Tsushima. Sounds like when you say cope, it's projection. Comparing apples to apples in combination of Sucker Punch's silence tells me everything I need to know about what's going on with this game. Again, these aren't my personal math stipulations. These are your math stipulations. Then I said, you need the ratio to be 0.5% for your story to be nearly close. How can you prove the ratio is 0.5% when Tsushima is a different genre and was 2.1%? Can you provide that proof directly in any manner whatsoever? Oh, but the sports games have it that low. Again, apples to chicken, my friend. Sleep well. And then I basically went to bed at that point. So then I went to sleep, and then I ended up realizing that there was a massive amount, and I'm talking an insane amount, of Sony soy boys that were in my comments. And because those motherfuckers can't read, do you know what they thought was happening? They thought that that was my own personal math statistics that I was utilizing. Like, excuse me, this is not my math. This is your guys' math. This is not my math. In any case, so if you scroll down, I said the following because I started realizing comments were saying this. They're like, oh, you're using cope math. This is not cope math. This is your math. All I did was use it against you. So I said, it's insane how many people in this thread who are Sony shills are yelling at me for using ratings math to determine sales as if I'm the one who even started it. I didn't set that precedent, you dumb fucks. The Sony shill that I'm quoting is the one who set that precedent. He's the one who said to use the ratings to prove the game sold millions and millions of copies. All I did was use his own math to prove that that's not the case. You have Sony shills in the thread saying it's already been confirmed to sell more than Tsushima. Bro, that's how you know these people can't read. You have people in this thread quoting the article that's been disproven already. You have people quoting the 2 million copies sold screenshot that's going around. Meanwhile, the screenshot has a troll message on the bottom of the screenshot because they don't even read it. Like, who are you people? I don't understand. Like, how are you? Who has confirmed these numbers? I understand you guys want this game to be a success. And from a copy sold to budget standpoint, it is a success. It is, because the budget is fairly low for this game, so it is going to make its money back. But when compared to the previous franchise, it is a massive flop. Ghost of Antifa compared to Tsushima is not even anywhere close. And we're still waiting for Japan to release their physical numbers, where, by the way, Tsushima in its first week sold over 221,000 copies. So I can't wait to see what it does in Japan. Hopefully for you, it does almost the same amount, if not more. So I said that by who again? The same 9,000 Twitter follower account that every article is basing their information from, that has no affiliation with anything? LOL, this is insane. Not only can they not read, but they are still quoting a fake article with bullshit information. The 2 million copies sold articles are based off of a fake picture with troll fine print on it, literally crying emoji. So again, guys, I want to make it very clear. I have never said that Antifa was not going to make its money back. I knew that Ghost of Antifa was going to slowly but surely make its money back. Maybe not during the initial push, but it's going to make its money back once it releases on PC. Absolutely. I really do believe that. However, that doesn't change the fact that compared to its previous iteration, it is a massive failure. It shows that the franchise took a big dip. And that is the problem from people who are true fans of Jin Sakai's story and Ghost of Tsushima. If you're a fan of the Ghost franchise, you should be worried right now that the franchise is taking such a massive hit. But because you want to own the chuds so goddamn bad, you are willing to lie about the numbers just to make it seem like everything is fine. And that's my biggest problem with this. You guys don't want to be honest, right? If I could be honest and tell you that the game is going to make its money back, you should be honest and be able to say, you know what? This game is not selling nowhere near as much as Tsushima. You know, we might have missed the ball here. We might have, you know, maybe misprojected a little bit here, right? By a pretty big margin. But no, they're never going to do that. They're never going to do that at all. Then I said, bro, I was chilling and letting Ghost of Antifa rocking, waiting for the Famitsu numbers. Sony Shills decided to try to respond to my thumbnail picture with, no, it's not happening. And then got felted with their own math rules. That's not my fault. You say I need something to griff off of, which Yotei, which again, you have zero clue as to the words and their meaning because you are retarded. Someone on your side said that ratings prove sales. So I took their metrics and proved that it hasn't sold anywhere near the first game. Don't yell at me for that. Yell at your boy for setting the precedent. Only in today's modern world can a game sequel sell way less than its predecessor and get celebrated because of reasons. By the way, if 13 million included PC sales, then that's even worse for you. If it's 8 million, which that's what people are telling me. People are saying that on PlayStation alone, Tsushima sold 8 million copies. If that's the case, then the percentage is 3.38%. So if you take 3.38% and you apply it to Ghost of Antifa, you end up with around 709,000 copies sold so far. 709,000. Regardless, don't get mad at me, Sony boys, for using one of your own's math. Y'all did that, not me. No one is saying you can't enjoy your game, have fun cooking some fish and slicing bamboo, bro. It's all good. Right? So if you scroll down, let me go to the original post really quick. So again, my biggest issue is people like Sony fanboys were losing their fucking minds because they just don't want to be honest. They just don't want to be honest about it. I could be honest about the numbers. I could be honest about the budget. I could be honest that this game is going to make its money back eventually. It's only a matter of time. But these people cannot be fucking honest and say that this game, in comparison to Ghost of Tsushima, is a failure, a big failure. It is not anywhere close. Tsushima was at 2.5 million copies in 3 days. We are now at 7 days, guys. We are at 7 days since this game has come out, and we don't have an announcement of 1 million copies sold yet. I initially thought that they were waiting to announce 2 million copies sold because I feel like, well, since the 1 million copies sold, they got their thunder stolen from them. I figure, okay, well, they're going to wait till 2 million copies sold because they don't have free copies. They don't have Game Pass. They don't have a service where this game is available for free somewhere day one. So Sony cannot lie and say they have XYZ players engaged. They cannot lie and say they have XYZ downloads. They can't do that because they don't have an option to. And they have shareholders that are looking at every statement they make publicly. So whatever number they come out and say, they absolutely have to be able to prove it. And if they cannot, that is going to be a problem. Whereas with Game Pass, they could just fudge the fucking numbers. Oh, yeah, we have XYZ players engaged, man. XYZ players downloaded the game. It's not a problem. They could do whatever they want. Sony can't do that. Jay Viper says, is his spread 2% to 0.5% as a multiple? That is a massive spread and immediately unreliable. I agree. Even 2 to 2.5% is too much as a multiple. You cannot use those numbers as a multiple because the results will be astronomically different. I agree 100%. 100%. Smash JT says boom roasted and then posted his fucking picture. That's crazy. I didn't even realize. Oh my God, dude. This is a great fucking picture. Smash JT posted a screenshot of the person's YouTube account, but using the Ghost of Antifa cooking, fishing, whatever simulator mini game thing. I didn't even realize that's what it was. That's amazing. That's a great picture. Shout out. Dan says, actually, I mean, listen, it is. I have to hit him with it actually. If it sold better or better than Tsushima, they would have announced it. They didn't because it didn't. I agree. I agree. And again, I wish I could find the comment, but honestly, I can't. I can't. I gotta, like, everybody's just saying burn, burn, burn. Again, nobody, they haven't responded, by the way. The dodgy kebab person has not responded. Oh, here we go. This is one of them. This is one of them. Jake Young. Jake Young says the following. Who's Jake Young? Did you block me? No. Okay, good. Jake Young says very unreliable information. Sales have been confirmed and surpassed Ghost of Tsushima, which was already a big success. This game is an even bigger win, bro. Come on. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Where is the honesty, bro? Where is the honesty? Where has it been confirmed? Nowhere. It's been literally confirmed nowhere. You guys are utilizing an article that's been proven to be bullshit twice. Twice. Who is it being confirmed by? Sony? Sucker Punch? PlayStation? Who? Who has confirmed? Nobody. Please give me a link. Please give me something showcasing confirmation. And what does he link? He links the fucking article, bro. Literally the article. Well, actually, he didn't link it. Somebody else linked it. Ministry of Truth. That is a hilarious name, by the way. Oh, no. Ministry of Truth. Hey, shout out to Ministry of Truth. Ghost of Yotei success is real, but its record sales might be fake from Screen Rant. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. And then what he started doing, weirdly, Jake Young started tagging Grok. I don't know why he's tagging Grok. He says actual sources that get paid to confirm. Again, who paid to confirm that? I don't know. Grok, the same ones that confirm all the other game sales? Who did that? Who did that? I'm not going to click show probable spam because it's probably crazy. Anyway, so the point is, this post is absolutely insane. The Kebab did not respond whatsoever. Kebab did not respond. Look, this person says, when you have no life, clown. Oh, wow. I have no life for showcasing math that somebody else tried to use against me. Look at this. Numbnuts. Not everyone who buys the game goes on to put a rating score on PSN. Okay. I agree with you. So then why did your boy try to use ratings as a way to showcase sales? Again, I am not the one who fucking made the math. All I did was apply the math that he tried to use to Ghost of Antifa. And it shows a flop. I'm sorry. It shows a fucking flop. That's not my fault. That's your fault. You need to talk to your boy. Look at this. Z3 for Zephyr says, by using reviews as your metric for sales in the first 24 hours, you've completely invalidated your point. What point? What point? That's not my point. This is you. You guys cannot read. Why can't the Sony boys read? I don't understand. This is not my metrics. This is me using someone else's metrics against them. What are we doing here? He says, I ain't going to review a game as long as Ghost if I've had less than 24 hours to play it. After 6 days, the majority of people are not done playing it. Skull emoji. Bro, oh my God. You guys are real desperate for something to grift on about Yotei, huh? You're using how many people rated the game as a way to calculate revenue? Surely you're smart enough to see the big issue with that way of thinking, right? Yes, which is why I'm calling out your Sony soy boy that started these metrics in the first place. Yes, I do. My God, bro. Like, how, like, my brain is literally melting by reading these comments and seeing the Sony soy boys not even realizing that I am using math that was started and the precedent was set by their own people. It was set by their own Sony soy boy. Stop, Hypnotic. He's gone. He's already dead. Anyway, so listen, guys, this is a hilarious video. I had to showcase this. And I just want to make, for all the people who get to the end of the video, which is about 30% of you, but for the 30% of you that get to the end of the video, I just want to make everybody understand this is not my math, okay? This is my math in the sense that I did the math, but this is not my metrics. This is not my, like, this is not my precedent. I never once used ratings as a way to showcase sales. Okay, this is somebody called Dodgy Kebab that apparently represents you PlayStation people, okay, who apparently tagged some other PlayStation content creator trying to get him to dunk on Grums for whatever reason in my thread. I don't know. Like, he set this precedent. I use this math, and now it has seemingly upset a bunch of Sony soy boys that think I'm the one that made up the math, that I'm the one that made up the metrics. I didn't do that. One of your guys did that. maybe you should talk to him. I don't really know what to tell you. So in any case, guys, you can let me know in the comments down below what you think about all this. Do you think that using ratings as a metric is a good way to judge sales? Do you think the numbers make sense or they don't make sense? Whatever it may be, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you enjoyed it, consider hitting that like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one.